Hey guys, so we're actually at one of my favorite hotels in all of Japan. It's the Fuji Speedway Hotel. Now, I know you guys can't see it because of the difference in the light and it's bright, but my favorite view that I will show to you guys real quick is this is what you wake up to, which is absolutely amazing, one of the best views. However, the other view from the other side of the hotel is the racetrack, which we're not at this time around, so we'll go and take a few looks a little bit later. But, so, the idea for today, or the plan for today, is we're going to go to Fuji Speedway, Fuji Speedway, and the hotel has a museum. Now, for those that don't know, now, the plan for today is going to be the racetrack, but also the museum, which for me is a big thing because I really like old vintage race cars. I like old cars. We help out with classic racing in the States, and so we get to tour around a bunch of old vintage cars, as well as take a look at some of the cool Japanese cars that they have on display, which we'll walk down, take a look, and I'll try to talk through most of them. I don't know every single car, so bear with me here. I'll try to do some research here and there and read back what I can tell you guys. But yeah, let's go take a look. So as we go down the stairs, we are greeted to a Toyota Turbo 7. That's our entrance to where we go get tickets. The tickets range between 1,800 and about 2,000 yen. Right off the bat, we go to a really cool car. It is a Panhard M197 from 1899. Believe it or not, this thing only made about 10 horsepower. One of the first cars that's front engine rear wheel drive. It is similar to a motorcycle in the fact that there is a chain that actually is driving the rear wheels. The other really cool random thing, it actually has a parking brake and hill assist and like a proper parking brake for the hill that can be actuated using one of those levers. It does have a front mount radiator, or cooler, I guess is the best way to say it. Leaf springs. Really cool, really weird car. Also supposed to be one of the first production cars out of France. So yeah, as we take a look, I mean, the wooden wheels are cool. From there on, we're actually gonna move on to a 1914 Stutz Bearcat Series F. This is a pre-World War I American-made car, making about 60 horsepower, and it was said to actually hit 100 miles an hour. And believe it or not, the incredible price tag for this car is about $2,000 back then, making it a weird but cool, fun car that's supposed to be achievable for everyone as well. From here, we move on to the 1902 Ford 999. Yes, it did actually race looking like that. It is a really weird but cool kind of car. Everything is exposed, everything's out in the open. It is said to have only made about 26 horsepower, so I don't know the actual numbers or what it was actually doing, but just imagine racing this thing around with everything exposed, everything right under your legs, and all out of wood with the rear axle. So I don't think the rear axle is exposed. I think that's just for the museum, but I could be wrong. So moving on, we have actually one of my all-time favorite cars. This is a 1958 Porsche 356A Speedster hardtop with the blue interior, gray color, almost silver I want to say, but it is, in my eyes, one of the most beautiful cars in the world. It has the blue interior. I don't believe this one has any actual racing pedigree. It is just more for the museum side of things. But if you know anyone in the States that has one that I can actually sit in or drive around, I would be eternally grateful for that. Yes, and from here we move on to the 1951 Toyota Racer. Yes, by Toyota. This one is a replica, but it was one of those cars that was known to hit up to top speeds of 150 to 160 kilometers an hour. But it was built with the idea that it was supposed to achieve the ideal 50-50 weight distribution. From here, we actually move on to one of the more iconic cars of Japan. It's going to be the 1966 RA273. This was powered by a 3-liter V12. Sadly, never won any of the races, but it did achieve a podium. It was retired in the 1967 German Grand Prix, I believe it. So that'd be 1 year after its production or the release. From here, we actually have a really weird but kind of cool car. It's a Toyo Pet Crown Deluxe. It competed in a 10,000 mile long or longer race in Australia to prove how reliable Toyota was back in the day. Finishing 47th overall, but still a cool car. From here, we're actually going on to a 1926 Bugatti Type 35B. This car competed with a 2.3 liter supercharged motor. It's supposed to have won the 1926 Grand Prix World and said to have exceeded 205 kilometers an hour, which for Freedom units is going to be our 127 miles an hour. Absolutely gorgeous in the blue color, and one of those stunning cars that you probably don't get to see anywhere else in the world. Units. Here we have on the side, this is actually a rotating part of the collection. I've noticed, I've been here a few times, and this was the first time I've seen this car. I don't think it was actually present when we came back later on to a beautiful, stunning Fairlady Z, one of the first generations. And right behind it is actually a car that is normally here, is the 1968 Lola T70 Mark II, with a few other cars during the same period, with once again, a Toyota 7. These are turbocharged 5-liter motors, twin turboed, that were built by Yamaha for Toyota back in the day. There it is, sitting in the white with the blue stripe, which I would love to see one of these racing around in probably a vintage race. I don't know how many we have in the States. From there, you take the elevator, head on upwards, and it's the last part of the tour. So you'll go left and you make your way all the way around. And from here, you get to see a lot of newer cars. I don't know exactly what direction people prefer to go to, but from here we have a Toyota Celica. I want to say, I could be wrong, but it should be a 1984. Two-wheel drive with the radiator in the rear. I absolutely think this body kit is super cool for these things. I actually had a 1983 Celica, hatchback though, so it was a little bit different. Still think that would be cool to have that front end with the non-pop-ups and just have a normal flat nose style. Absolutely gorgeous looking car, but don't think anyone makes a replica for these body kits. From here we have a Toyota 222D prototype. If you want to take any guesses on what it is based off of, more than welcome to have a guess, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's an MR2 with the body kit. And if you know anyone that can make a replica of one of these, or someone that is capable of sourcing the panels, because that would be an absolutely awesome car to see driving around. Just imagine an old MR2 first gen driving around with a wide body with the front nose with non-pop-ups. And here we have a Celica, which I don't know if this is the one generation that got Toyota in trouble, that ended up having them removed from Stage Rally, but this is the 1995 Celica, and it's the Safari winner. I believe this one is always there. I could be wrong, but I think this is always on display. Absolutely cool car, gorgeous pop-up headlamps. You got the snorkel on the motor as well. Crazy bash bar. Overall, very cool car. Here we have a few more as we start moving on. This is all road racing, so it should be as we start moving on. I quickly had something glance out in the corner of my eye, which for those that know, it is the Mazda 787B on the side. I don't exactly know the full details of this one. I wish I probably did a little bit more research on it, but this is the one that everyone knows, everyone remembers, and it is the classic livery. You can actually do a little, I'll probably mute myself for a second there and you can hear the background noise of the rotary that they have a little, you step around and it has the startup noise. Right next to it sitting as well is a Toyota. I use this essentially to just sneak on over in the back where you see a factory Mazda 4-rotor. NA, non-turbo, but this was an absolute beast of a motor. I think this is also the one that ended up getting Mazda taken out with the rotary out of Le Mans, with ITBs that expanded and grew, from what I could be wrong. I could be wrong on this, but I do know there's an extensive amount of history that I am definitely not qualified to talk about. So probably ask someone to talk about it further down the road. From here, we're actually towards the end of the exhibit. And it's all going to be newer cars post 1980s, I want to say, going forward. There is, however, moving forward is going to be the newer Toyota race cars, which we're actually going to move into the hybrid area. So on display here is actually we have the newer that you would typically see in WEC or Le Mans, and it's a newer style hybrid system. I don't know if this is actually one of the winning cars, but this is a very cool car. I also love the wheels, so I know it says Rays on it. If anyone knows who actually made them or how we can get a set of those and turn them into like a 5-lug 5x114 would be absolutely awesome. Here we have the Toyota Supra. Moving on to a very weird car, which actually didn't get a lot of information on. It's a 1987 Footwork MCS7. The motor is supposed to be by Yamaha, but imagine just sitting right over the front. I don't think I would physically be able to fit in one of these, but in the back to end up our whole entire tour, we're gonna go look over at one of the legendary cars that, for all of Japanese culture, you got yourself an 8.6. This one's a 11, and I think from what I've been told, it is a Cup spec. So I believe there was a Cup series or some sort of racing series that these were revolving around, but it is absolutely awesome. The rest of the cars on display also do rotate, but I want to leave that open to everyone else. So thank you for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.